They're just looking for something to eat.
Not paying us any attention. What are we, 10 feet away?
What, like 8 foot? He's getting closer all the time. A while ago, he come almost hopped on my foot. There comes another one. Got some.
It's starting to melt.
Yeah, it's all starting to melt.
This is still pretty
Everything
white.
out there is still solid white.
But some of it's starting to melt.
Where the sun can get to it at.
All right. Let's see what's
Alright.
going on in here.
Ooh, you smell it when you open the door. Smell it?
Yeah. We didn't lose everything. I see the briars still look pretty.
Briars are beautiful, but
The lettuce, some of that stuff's looking
it's
okay.
Let's
Tomato.
hold on, let's check the tomato. Let's see.
We're taking out anything that didn't make it.
Anything that didn't make it comes out. Oh,
Oh, it did get it.
they got it even though it was covered up. Well, you have to understand, it was 8 degrees this morning. From about, I woke up at 2 o'clock, put wood in the heater. It was 9 degrees at 2 o'clock. And I pretty much was awake from on and off from 2 o'clock on because I want to make sure I didn't realize it was going to get that cold. They said we was going to get down to 11, but it actually got to 9.
8 afterward.
And then about 6 to 7:30, it dropped to 8 degrees and stayed there. So that, and then at 11 o'clock today, it got up to 32 degrees. So that's almost 48 hours below freezing that we were. So these plants just can't, they're not going to be able to take
So that's got to come out.
Yeah, it's got to come out. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, you see the stem was even purple. It got the stem and all.
It got all of it. Yeah, you can tell. Got to leave as much of the original soil in there as I can.
But we have more plants coming up in the future to go in there.
We're just going to pile them up out here on the ground. We're going to take it all outside in a minute.
That you could cover back up, I guess, for the onions, or does it matter?
Oh, the onions will be fine. They're fine. Right, well, what we needed to happened here. We needed these fig trees and all to go dormant, where we could, because they hadn't went dormant yet. So this really sent them into dormancy. Them and the mulberries back here. See, I just touch the leaves, they just fall off.
What about the apple? It had a bloom on it.
Now the apple,
I don't know where it went, but
the apple's doing okay. It's fine. These apple trees are pretty hardy. See, the leaves just fall off when I touch them.
so those are all ready to.
Yeah, these needed to go through this because where we can get them ready to plant, where they can harden off, because they hadn't really hardened off yet. Because there's a lot of new growth from like here all the way up to here, still bright green. That we need them to harden off before we put them outside. But now behind us here, really it's not a loss for us. I mean, guys, like we've told you, we've harvested over 1,000 peppers off these things. So.
And I harvested yesterday in the snow, remember?
Yeah, and that's what I'm telling you. It's not a loss. I mean, they have went way, way longer than what they should have. We've got more peppers. I mean, really, I would say there's not even really a need for us to plant a pepper next year unless we just want a fresh one.
Well, it is the next year.
Well, I mean, this growing season.
But I'm going to plant 2 or 3 of each, 1 or 2 of each variety, not a lot.
Yeah, because it's really, we have so many in the freezer
And I've got some freeze-dried, and we've got all kinds of peppers from the last 2 years, so we're good with peppers for now. We'll just do some fresh.
Yeah, it'll just be a couple of plants to just do something fresh with, because we don't need them. Really, 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 really bad. You know, this Fuji jalapeno here, I'm actually going to leave it because
The leaves are a little wimpy, but
the
it'll put out new.
it might not have hurt it. I think.
Hand me my jalapeno.
Yeah, there's your little jalapeno. This thing might, because you will know in a couple of days. You know, I mean, that's the bottom line. But now what I am going to do is, because we're fixing to redesign all of this in here this spring, this part of the blackberry up here really serves me no purpose of being on here. So I am actually going to see if I can get up here and cut that. I know that probably breaks a lot of y'all's hearts. It breaks my heart, but
We can't move everything till we get that down.
yeah, all this is all just got to go. Everything.
All this is going to get redesigned in the center here.
Yeah.
This blackberry actually still, the bloom's still pretty. Let me see where my berries are. I don't think it froze my berry. Maybe not. We'll see in a few days. The blackberry looks okay. The lettuce is still good. Even the comfrey is still pretty. Now the cauliflower is a little bit droopy, but mine outside did this and it perked back up and we've got a head starting there. We're going to see what happens there. Now the bananas, you can tell all the leaves pretty much got it. All of them. This jalapeno, again, the leaves got it, so
yeah,
we're going to save this jalapeno.
I'm going to leave this one alone.
We might take the leaves off, but...
Now these, I'm not sure how bad it actually hurt this plant, to be honest with you.
I think it's just the leaves outside.
Some of these outside leaves out here.
All right, and...
I'm just going to get it where we can walk under them is what I'm doing.
The broccoli, now Danny's taking all these up anyways because he's feeding them to the animals, but the broccoli is a little wimpy from the cold, but it's not hurt. Your grape pretty much is gonna, all the leaves will now fall off. The snow is melting off the top. Danny knocked a good bit off and then it's pretty much falling off now.
Yeah,
the worst part is right here under these trees where you didn't get the
I didn't get the
pine straw off all of this.
Well, it hasn't gotten a full sun yet. Some of it's still in the shade.
Yeah, and this will fall because you can see the sun's coming right there, and all this side's done pretty much cleared off a good ways. The celery, it's beginning to perk up. It looks pretty good.
Oh, we got some pretty good little bell peppers on these, eh?
Well, I need my bell peppers. The celery here in this bed and the onions I think are okay. The celery in this bed is looking fabulous. So the onions and celery I think are going to be okay. Now this celery looks a little drooped, but the others have picked up. So I think when the sun gets back here, this one will. This pepper, you're going to take this one out too, right?
Yep.
We're going to take all these out. These onions seem to be okay. All these onions seem to be okay. They're not growing much, but they're hanging in there. My poor tomato plants has got to go. And these banana plants both have to be cut back. But the tomato, look how big my tomato got before. So I might have a few green tomatoes we can use right here. I mean, it really, I was this close to having tomatoes fresh. So we start over with the tomatoes. This is the cabbage and celery under here, and all of these look okay. I think all of these are going to be fine. And the cauliflower here didn't die, so maybe they'll keep on. We'll see. And this bed of cauliflower did amazing. It's the one that had the sheets and the bug cover over it. But I mean, look at that. So our cauliflower is the one thing that we wanted to save, and it did awesome. And that and the cabbage, and both beds did really, really well.
I might be wrong, but I left 2 of the banana peppers on the end right here. I cut them off. They seem like they still good.
We'll know in a week or two if they
we'll
come
know.
out.
You know, if they start turning to mush or something, we'll know. But
You pulling the rest of them up so we can plant?
yeah, they've tried so hard to live. I think I'm just gonna leave these 2 on the end down here, and the rest of these, get this Electroculture up out of the way. The rest of these, we're gonna get them up out of there, because I mean we really don't need them. But I mean this, if these come back out,
That'll provide all the peppers we need.
that's all the peppers we need. We don't need no more. One of the reasons this peppers might have done so good, we didn't realize it, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 8 Electroculture rods in this bed with these peppers. We didn't even realize there was that many of them stuck in here. That could have been one of the reasons they were growing as well as they were.
Might check out Hill's Mill Homestead for some Electroculture rods, because 8 in this one, what is this, a 9.5 by 2.5?
9.5 by 2.5.
8 of them.
That's kind of like way overkill.
But we had peppers.
We had some peppers now.
All right, so the Malabar, I was letting it go so if maybe I'd have some seeds, but these things are mush now. It ain't gonna work.
The seeds will.
No, they're
the
mush.
Seeds will be okay. You know, the seeds are gonna turn to mush.
You think?
Yeah. They just got dry.
So the Malabar seeds just need to be put on something to dry.
Yeah. They know.
All right, so we may have some Malabar seeds before long, but the leaves and the vines are going to mush. And look, I got 2 little plants, so I'm not going to be without a Malabar, even though I take this big one. It didn't hurt the 2 little ones. Isn't that crazy? What'd you remember about this one?
I was cleaning out the weeds around them, and I realized, as an experiment, I took a piece of copper and wrapped around them. There's that one there. I didn't do it. I just wrapped it around it. I said, I wonder if that'll do anything.
There's one around this one.
Oh, yeah, a little bitty one around that one right there.
So.
And these were the ones that, these suckers was making some peppers, man. Big old pretty peppers, big old huge plants.
So
I wonder, did that...
And it had some Electroculture in it. Did you find any in this bed?
There's one right there.
I knew there was 1 or 2 in here.
There's one right here by this
celery.
Celery.
So it's got a couple Electroculture rods, and it's got copper around the base of the tree.
There's the Electroculture by that celery. I see it's right up against it.
So we had 3 Electroculture rods and 3 copper circles around it.
Yeah, I just twisted them. I don't know if I can get it off of the plant or not. Let me see. Since we broke it all up. Yeah. All I did was just took a piece of copper and twisted it. I said, I wonder if I just put that around it, if it'll do anything. And when it was a little bitty plant, what it was, I was doing some Electroculture in here, and I had some pieces of copper left over, too short to make a spiral out of. So I just wrapped them up, stuck them around this. Actually, there's some in that strawberry bed there too, because I did it around a couple of strawberry plants.
This is our first time looking at the strawberries.
It was somewhere down in this direction here. I remember I was in here that day making them copper rods.
There's Electroculture everywhere. I know we've got those in here.
Yeah, here's one right here sticking up in here. But I did boy, spiders all in here. I can see that.
They love it.
I put one of them.
It'd be hard to say because you got to pull that whole matting up out of there to find it.
It's here. I know it's here. I put one in here somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm kind of curious. The matting probably is helping with the root system on it.
Yeah, till this winter's over. We've got Electroculture ever so often in here. So There's probably what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 Electroculture.
No, I thought this was it. That ain't. Sorry, there it is.
At least six Electroculture rods in here.
Stuck right here. Well, I can't get it out of it. I might can.
Well, why not leave it and see what
Well,
happens?
we're going to take these strawberries up. But
Well, true.
there it is, right there. I knew I put, and there may be more in here, but I knew I'd done one.
So that plant, I mean, doesn't look any different than any of the others, I don't guess.
No, I just know
But
that
we do have Electroculture all in here, and these plants are doing
these
good.
plants this past spring were like 8 to 10 inches tall. They were
gorgeous.
they were gorgeous. Matter of fact, they overproduced themselves.
What is this, sorrel?
Yeah, wood sorrel.
Look how big this is compared to the usual out in the woods. It's a little teeny. Look how big that leaf is with all that. I mean, this is crazy. They're usually about the size of my thumb. The leaves are.
They're tiny, usually. These here, I mean, get that one.
That's what I'm saying.
How big
Wood sorrel doesn't get that big, except for Electroculture.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got this bed cleaned up. He's taken out the tomato over there. I hadn't got to the Malabar yet. The rest of it, he got back in the back, the tomatoes, cleaned out a few weeds, but overall, a lot of stuff is still going in here. I got it all kind of cleaned up a little bit. We still have green. So, that was our coldest night last night, and for a week at least. All right, so we're cleaned up enough that in about a week, we're going to be planting our English peas in here. And rearranging all this. These pots will go outside for the summer, and Vego beds will go in here. And y'all, it's going to look a little different this spring. Y'all stay tuned. Thank you guys from Pecan Grove.